What's up, budget billers? My name is Trill, and what do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? We finally have a bipartisan deal. Well, we thought we already had a deal before we found out it wasn't documented, and now that they have solved their differences and it is documented now, we have a deal again. We have a deal, guys. Yesterday, President Biden and the bipartisan group of 10 Democrats and 10 Republicans announced that they have an agreement on the details of the huge investment in our infrastructure, which is the physical infrastructure deal. Well, now that will be taken up in the Senate for consideration, or as we call it, they can vote on it. This bill includes $40 billion in new funding for things like bridge repairs, replacements, and rehabilitation. The bill also includes a total of $17.5 billion on major projects. But that's not it, guys, because yesterday we had double breaking news. Not only did they agree to the terms of this infrastructure deal, but they also sent it over to the Senate for a preliminary vote on it, where this advances the Senate with a 67-32 vote, which is above the 60 votes that are required. So this is excellent news for us, and we are glad to finally move past this first hurdle in getting to the finish line, where hopefully a fourth stimulus check will present itself. Now, if you are new to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. We would appreciate it if you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free, and if you could go ahead and hit the like button for us, it really helps out the channel, guys. I try to bring you guys a new video every day regarding the latest stimulus update news or the pandemic EBT information, as well as ways to make some free money. And as always, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and supporting this channel. But let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, guys, I told you guys on Tuesday that we hope to have some progress on this infrastructure bill within the next 48 hours. And shockingly, Budget Bill was right. Less than 48 hours later, the bipartisan senators, including Republicans and Democrats, were finally able to hash out their differences and finalize the last hiccups to move forward this bill. After weeks of negotiations and talks of details, they were able to finalize the deal and send it to the Senate for a vote. The Senate ended up voting on this bill, and they voted 67-32 to start the process and consideration of this infrastructure bill. The minimum requirement was 60 votes. Now, don't forget, this same bill actually failed last week when they didn't even know the specifics of the deal. Republican negotiators announced late on Wednesday that they now have enough confidence in the details of this agreement to allow the deal to move forward to the next stage. Now, something that you might want to know, but lawmakers have tried for years to put together a bipartisan group of senators that could work together for the betterment of this country, and the efforts have always failed. So, to seeing this happening in 2021, when our country is so deeply divided, especially in Washington, it's good to see a bipartisan agreement on something as big as this infrastructure deal, which is the physical infrastructure. So yes, guys, we are here, and Congress is finally making progress on the physical infrastructure that's needed in this country, funding necessary things to improve states around the U.S. to repair and rehab bridges and roads, and a whole lot of other stuff. The Biden administration sent out a message on Wednesday declaring victory on this deal. Biden said the deal showed our democracy can function, deliver, and do big things. As we did with the Transcontinental Railroad and the Interstate Highway, we will once again transform America and propel us into the future. But hey guys, where does this take us right now? Or what's next? Most of us want to know. Well, I think Chuck Schumer said it best. He said,
"I want to commend the group of senators who worked with President Biden. My goal remains to pass both the bipartisan infrastructure bill and a budget resolution this work period. Both. It might take some long nights, it might eat into our weekends, but we are going to get the job done." and we are on track.
As you may recall, Schumer has long insisted that the Senate will pass the bipartisan infrastructure package and the budget resolution for the $3.5 trillion before they leave for their August recess break, which that timeline is pretty tight from where we are today. Congress's last day in office before the August recess break is July the 30th, but they may be asked to stay over to finish up their work. But we are not out of the woods just yet, guys. This vote on this bill on Wednesday was the preliminary vote in order to move the bill for a final vote with the Senate. So we still have a few hurdles to cross before we get to that finish line. The Republicans are planning on issuing a good number of amendments to slow the process down and to make it difficult for the Democrats, even though they had 17 Republicans vote in favor of this bill. So once they can get through all of the amendments and the red tape and the changes, the final piece of this bill can be voted and finalized by the Senate. And at that point, it can be sent over to the House for a vote on it there. Which, if you remember, Nancy Pelosi said it clearly that she would not bring the American Families Plan to the vote in the House unless it is accompanied by this infrastructure deal. So in this case, we are even closer to making this happen very soon. But I'm not sure if there is enough time for Schumer to get his wishes of getting this done before their recess break. But if everyone has to stay over the weekend and work into their recess break, then obviously there is a lot of time to make it all happen. After this deal, $3.5 trillion will be up on the table. And of course, in the background, while all of this is going on Wednesday, former President Donald Trump lambasted the Senate Republicans for reaching a deal with the Democrats. In Trump fashion, he said, "It's hard to believe our Senate Republicans are dealing with the radical left Democrats in making a so-called bipartisan bill on infrastructure, with our negotiators headed up by Super Rhino Mitt Romney." He just loves that guy, right? And this is why he got his Twitter account taken from him. But I think it's great that we can have our leaders at this time, who often disagree with one another, come together for the good of this country. I will never go against that. And I hope you guys won't as well. We should all do that more frequently, you know? But that's another topic for another day. Now, moving on, let's quickly go over a few daily news bites that you might have missed. Google has announced that vaccines are now mandatory for employees to return back to work. This comes after daily increases in the virus cases in the U.S., where we are now seeing about 55,000 cases on a daily basis. And sometime today, President Biden is expected to announce that vaccines are mandatory for federal workers and government workers. He might not do this just yet because he said late on Wednesday that it is still under consideration. It's going to be a huge battle if he does, as there are still questions regarding whether the president can make vaccines mandatory. There are already people planning on suing their companies and the government for these types of mandates being pushed down. But it seems like every company is starting to lean towards forcing people to get vaccinated. A hedge fund founder stated that he is going to mandate COVID shots in his office. He said, if you don't want to get vaccinated, then leave. Simply put, I must say. As well as billionaire Ken Lagoon told CNBC on Wednesday that all of his businesses will mandate employees to be vaccinated once they receive the full FDA approval. And this is the part I like about what he said. He said you have an obligation to your fellow man to protect him as well as yourself. And I agree with that, guys. We recently saw the ex-Dallas Cowboys player Cole Beasley come out with a rant about he will never take the vaccine, and if people are scared of catching it, then don't come around him. That's pretty selfish of him to make those types of remarks. But hey, it is what it is, guys. There are so many people out there right now that just refuse to believe as well as to take and get this vaccine because they just don't believe in it. But I know you guys, you budget billers, you guys believe in it and you have already been vaccinated. I know you guys very well, guys. But anyways, if you are into investing in stocks Robinhood, which is probably the #1 platform for retail investors, their IPO is coming out today, which means their company stock will be listed for people to purchase it. The stock price has been priced around the $38 range per share. Now, me personally, I don't plan on buying this at these prices. Robinhood still has a lot of trust that they need to gain back from their customers. I still use the platform, but I recommend new people just go ahead and start off with Webull. And speaking of Webull, hey, that promotion is about to end on July the 30th, and that's in like 2 days. You can get 2 free stocks after you deposit just 1 penny. Now, I would recommend all of you to at least deposit $1 to make things more simple. Also, I still show that more than 100 people signed up using my link in the description, but you still haven't made your initial deposit into your account. So don't lose out on these free stocks, guys. Go ahead and make that deposit today. At least deposit $1. But anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. This has been another 4 stimulus check update for today. Now, if you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful or even laughed at one of my jokes, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot, and it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.